um, Mr. Sanjay Jain. Thank you, Mr. Jain, for joining us again once more. So the topic today is going to be non-violence, non-violent lifestyle. So the floor is yours, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. And first of all, thank you for joining this session. And today we are going to talk about Ahimsak, non-violent way of living. I know you guys are going through a very good series of sessions which promotes whole food, plant-based diet. And I must say that if we truly and honestly follow the instructions in what is told in the whole food plant-based diet, it is going to change your life, and it has changed my life. And I think one of the most difficult component of this diet is and getting away from the dairy products or the meat products. So this today's session is focused on basically why should we give up dairy and meat products, and of course it will also talk about other impacts of not following the compassionate lifestyle. So let's start. Okay. uh, First question comes to our mind is human vegetarian or non-vegetarian? Are we supposed to be eating meat or not eating meat? So if you look at the diagram here of photographs here, these are non-vegetarian animals. Okay. And look at their teeth, how their teeth look like. These two animals are vegetarian animals. And look at their teeth, how their teeth look like. So if you look at these pictures, you will see the human jawline matches with the vegetarian animal's jawline. Okay. So that clearly shows that human is a vegetarian species. Now, question comes to our mind, like how come then what happened? When did the human started eating meat? So human started eating meats or animals only after the Stone Age. Only after the Stone Age, they had tools or means or process to kill the animal. Without those tools, even today, if we are asked to even catch a rabbit, we won't be able to catch any animal. Our human reflexes are not strong enough. Our strength and speed is not strong enough to catch animals and eat them. So only after Stone Age, the human became eating non-vegetarian animals. Sorry, became non-vegetarian, starting eating animals. So by nature, human is a vegetarian animal. Okay. Now comes, okay, we got it now. Humans are vegetarian, but are humans supposed to take milk or dairy products? Now, again, there are two set of pictures. On the left side of the pictures, these are all vegetarian animals. And if you see all the vegetarian animals, babies are drinking milk of their own mother. Okay. On the right hand side, these are non-vegetarian animals. Okay. And if you see, the difference here is, if non-vegetarian animals are offered milk, they will drink it. Okay. Vegetarian animals, even if they are not offered milk, even if they are offered milk, they will not drink it. So it truly says that a vegetarian animal will only drink milk of their own mother, and even and the adults will even refuse milk even if it is offered. So according to the nature, humans are vegetarian, and any vegetarian animals should not consume milk when adult. When they're babies, they can consume milk of their own mother. So Now let's talk about the definition given by the by our humans. What does the definition? So I went ahead and searched every possible dictionary, Chinese, Japanese, German. All dictionaries says vegetarian means the person who eats vegetables, the person who consumes plant-based diet. That is, like in Hindi, it's called shakahari. The person who consumes food on the shaka. Shaka means the plants. Okay. So the true vegetarianism definition is the person who consumes plant-based diet. And that's very essential component of whole food plant-based diet. Okay. So if you see nature's definition, our own definition, they all define vegetarianism as plant-based diet only, no animal products, which includes eggs, dairy, beeswax, honey, anything. Okay. And it's all in the dictionary, it's all in the wiki. And the people who consume vegetarian, but they also consume eggs are called ovo-vegetarian. The strict vegetarians are strict vegetarians. Okay. So now let's understand what is a milking cycle. How does the milk, if we want a cow's milk, okay, what will it take to get the cow's milk? Okay. So in order to have one milking cow, you actually need to start with 2 cows. Okay. At the age of 1 year or 15 months, the cows can be made pregnant. Okay. So usually from the age of 1 to 2 years, they spend their time being pregnant. And you get a baby, another baby, and I'll tell you why you need a baby, because later on you will understand it. Okay. So you got a baby here, baby cow, and which is 0 to 1 year. Now, after 2 years of completing age of 9 months of pregnancy, assume the cow gives birth, and the birth child happens to be the male calf. Okay. After the birth, the milking starts for the cow. So from age of 2 to 3 years, this cow will be milking. While this cow is milking, the other baby cow, which when it turns 15 months, you make that baby cow now pregnant. So for next 9 months, this cow will be pregnant, of course, not milking. Okay. So that's why you need 2 cows, because one cow will be pregnant, the other cow will be milking. That's why we need 2 cows at least in order to have one cow effectively. Now this cow gives birth to the again male calf born. Okay. And now from the year 2 to 3, it will be milking. While this cow is milking, the first cow which was milking from year 2 to 3, you make it pregnant again. Okay. So from age 3 to 4, it will be that year will be spent in pregnancy. Okay. So this cycle continues. And for the sake of fairness, because one cow can give birth to a male calf or female calf. Okay. I've given the next terms, I have given it to that, they have given the birth to the female calf. After 5 years of age, these cows become ineffective to produce milk. So from usually the cow's age is about 16 years. So 5 to 15 years of the age, they will spend time not milking, but just spend the time. Okay. So if we keep doing this, okay, after 15 years, you would have so many male calves, okay, with their age given here, so many female cows which are too old to milk, and couple of cows here which are, one is milking, another one is pregnant, and another one is just born. So basically these 3 cows are useful other these cows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 6 plus 8, 14 cows are useless for milking purposes. Only 3 cows are useful. So after 15 years, this becomes the family of a cow. So what happens? What do you think? These cows are living after 5 years of the age? No. What happened to these cows? These cows are sent to the slaughterhouse. The moment they turn 5 or 6 years of age, when they are no longer can milk, these cows are sent to the slaughterhouse. So, in fact, the male calf, they are sent to the slaughterhouse immediately after 15 days of 1 month after they are born. And this is given to the veal industry. Okay. So that's in America. In India, slaughtering a cow for a household is considered ultimate sin. So what do? They devise a very good scam, which is called donating cow. It's called Godan. It's the biggest scam in the world. What do? A Brahmin looking person will come to your home and ask for the donation of the cow. Any non-milking cows will be donated to the Brahmin looking person. The Brahmin looking person will give you lots of blessing that this donating a cow is the biggest thing you can do. Okay. And emphasize the significance of this. And you feel honored because you just donated something. When you donate something, you feel honored. But that's not the truth. The story doesn't end here. This guy who took the cow from you actually sell those cows to the slaughterhouses for the meat and leather production. Okay. That's what happens. Okay. In America, these cows are sent directly to the slaughterhouses. In India, there's a process called Godan, donating cow, and that's how they are sent to the slaughterhouses. In the end, they both, in the both places, India, America, anywhere, everywhere it lands up into slaughterhouses. That is the reason consuming dairy is not the non-violence way of living. Okay. Don't believe my words. India has become a biggest exporter of the beef in the world. Okay. It is because these cows are being sent to the slaughterhouse. Okay. In 2012, 1,680,000 tons of beef and veal is exported every year. Huge numbers. Okay. India is operating 3,600 slaughterhouses. Okay. Every day, 10,000 cows come to the slaughterhouses. Okay. So this is why India has become the biggest beef exporter. India is a place where the cows are worshipped. They are called holy cows. And that is where we are slaughtering them. Just to quickly go over what happens, the life of a dairy cow. Okay. First of all, dairy cows are kept artificially impregnated 300 days in a year. So out of 365 days, they are pregnated for 300 days. And they're not naturally pregnant. They are called, there's a restraining apparatus, they're often called rape racks. Okay. Within minutes after the birth, calves are separated from their mothers. Mothers are known to cry for weeks for their babies. Male calves are taken away for veal and calf skin production. And once the cows are old enough to start producing milk, they are forcefully dehorned, a process as painful as pulling our nails without any painkillers. Okay. Cows are mostly hooked up to the instrument, which increases their discomfort and chance of diseases. Do you think any place where the dairy cows are milking, they're going to put these apparatus only when they need to take out the milk? No, they just put the apparatus once and they keep it on. They switch on the button and every single cow who's attached to this apparatus starts milking. Too much discomfort. Okay. Dairy cows spend most of their short-lived lives cramped and confined. Their hooves never touches the grass, only the concrete floor. Mechanically milking causing painful diseases, uh, and they are given artificial growth hormones and antibiotics to produce more than 4 times the natural amount of milk. If you see this picture, this is how a natural cow without artificial growth hormones should look like. But this is how these cows are looking. And that is the reason when we consume this milk, the obesity is increasing, because they are given artificial growth hormones. Those medicines goes into the cow's milk. That milk we consume, and we also become artificially, we also become obese because of that. Okay. A cow's natural lifespan is 18 years, but they only will live for 5 to 6 years. Once their milk has dried up, they will be sent to the slaughterhouses for leather and beef. So this is the life of a dairy cow. I know it was painful to hear and see these pictures, but we are talking about Ahimsak lifestyle. So if we consume dairy, we are directly or indirectly promoting the violence. Or so we should live compassionate lifestyle. The story doesn't stop here. Dairy impacts air, water, and land. It has been proven, okay, that 40% of the greenhouse gas effects, okay, is by the dairy farms and the livestock accounts. Okay. Dairy farm uses 8% water resources and pollutes both ground and surface water. And dairy farm and livestock is occupying 70% of the agricultural land. Don't take my words. United Nations came up with a report which linked non-vegan diet as a top contributor to the most serious environmental problem. They said this is, the consuming meat and dairy is causing more pollution to this Mother Earth than factories and the automobile industry combined. This is what they said. In their word, the livestock sector emerges as one of the top 2 or 3 most significant contributor to the most serious environmental problems at every scale, from local to global. Okay. And this is again, United Nations. I've given the link. These are the words taken from the United Nations report. Health benefit, I think Mrs. Komal Rastogi has been talking about health benefit of following the whole food plant-based diet. A vegan or a whole food plant-based diet can reverse heart disease. A case study by Dr. Esseltyn, in 5 years, it reversed the clogged arteries. In 1987 to 1992, there was a case study done. And if you see, there's no medicine even till today which can unclog your arteries. If there are doctors on the speaker list, in the attendance list, they know this. There's no medicine which can unclog the arteries. Whole food plant-based diet can do it. Okay. It worked for Mr. Clinton. There was Mr. Clinton went through 4 bypass surgery and still, his heart problems were not getting solved. And in the end, he was prescribed the whole food plant-based diet. And everything went in favor of him. He became more energetic. He lost weight. And, his heart problems disappeared. To the effect, the CNN, Dr. Sanjay Gupta of CNN produced a documentary, The Last Heart Attack, on Mr. Bill Clinton. Okay. There's similar studies done like China studies. Again, the same conclusion: the people who eat plant-based or whole food-based diet and avoid refined carbohydrate will escape, reduce, or reverse the development of chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancers. So again, I think Mrs. Rastogi has already gone through this one. This is just a kind of like a summary of health benefits of veganism. Now, many insurance companies and doctors, they all are recommending whole food plant-based diet. Many studies have been done in this area. Sometimes the question comes to me, okay, what about protein and calcium? Where do we get? If we don't eat meat, if we don't eat dairy, where do we get this protein and calcium? Look at these uh, animals who are vegetarian. Where do they get their proteins and calcium? Almost all the strongest animals are actually vegetarian animals. Okay. So none of these guys get to eat meat. None of these guys get to drink milk. Okay. They have strong bones and muscles. In vegetation, in plant-based diet, there's enough protein and calcium. Don't worry about it. These are some of the celebrities who have chosen to be vegan, given up their dairy, meat, and everything. Okay. And some of these celebrities are actually sports persons. Okay. So it does not affect, uh, your health or your strength in any way. Some of the vegan substitute, I know some of it is not part of the whole food plant-based diet, but you can get everything which is made of dairy substituted by the non-dairy products. Okay. And even if you want to prepare the food yourself, there's everything you can prepare using the substitute. Okay. In the end, I would like to say drinking your mother's milk is your mother's choice and your right. Drinking cow's milk is neither cow's choice and nor your right. And second thing is, no mother would like to become artificially pregnant only to offer milk to others. How did it all affected my personal life? When I took this 8-week or 6-week course, I happened to go to my PCP in the middle of this sessions, 3.5 weeks. Okay. And when I went on to this diet, if you see, my A1C was in the month of April, my A1C was 7.6. Okay. It came down to 6.4. And before that, this is a 5-year chart. Okay. This is what is happening. My total cholesterol was 193. It came down to 141. Okay. My bad cholesterol was 114. It came down to 68. Everything went in the right direction. My PCP was surprised. I was diabetic, and I was taking 4 metformin of 500 mcg each every day. And looking at these numbers, my PCP immediately said, you got to reduce it in half. Otherwise, you will be damaging your liver. You will be taking more medicine. So this diet works. Okay. It lowered my blood pressure. When I again went to the PCP after 3.5 weeks, they took my one blood pressure on one arm and they said, this is not your blood pressure. Let me try again. And they took it on the other arm. And they said, something is happening. Maybe then I told them, I am actually on this whole food plant-based diet. And that's what they understood. Okay, the power of this. It's a prescription. It's just that many physicians will not choose to give this prescription to you because they feel giving medicine is a better way, easy way for the individual. But if we go on to the whole food plant-based diet, we will feel much better and much healthier internally, and it's definitely a compassionate way of living. So that's it. I have covered everything in 26 minutes. Any questions?
Thank you for showing us how the dairy actually leads to all this wheel industry and the meat industry. So thank you for, this was really, I'm sure this was, information that most of us didn't know before this. So any questions we have for Mr. Jain, please feel free to open up.
This is all fact based, so you can challenge it. If you don't believe it, we can have a discussion, but this is totally fact based. With with my experience personally, I went through this journey, so I felt I should share my experiences with everybody.
Thank you. So I'll stop the recording and let's open the discussion if anyone has